Nikki's online. I'd like to call this meeting back to order, and at this time, I'll entertain any motions. I do want to say Ms. Gardner has joined us, and she's with us by Zoom. I will say this, we had, I think, a very meaningful discussion. I think that all seven of us, because Ms. Garner joined us too, had good questions. I think this board is committed to caring about this district, and I respect, however, whatever motions are made and votes are taken, that I respect what you think, and I know that the public will appreciate the work we are doing. So with that, are there any motions?
Ms. Hammond?
Yes, ma'am.
I move that the procurement examination and consulting Phase 2 report dated 9/19/2022 be reported on the district's website by close of business tomorrow, with active employee names redacted as permitted by FOIA.
Is there a second? It's more seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? And I see a hand up with Ms. Gardner, so that is 7 and 0 opposed.
Ms. Hammond, I have another motion. I move that we direct our attorney share the procurement examination and consulting Phase 2 report dated 9/19/2022 with the South Carolina Attorney General and the Office of Inspector General per Section 2420 of the district's Procurement Code, reporting of anti-competitive practices.
Is there a second? It's more seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of that motion, it carries 7-0.
Ms. Hammond, one more. I move that we direct our attorney to send a letter to the vendor as discussed in executive session in order to recoup excess cost and overbilling we believe the district incurred.
Is there a second? Ms. Moore seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that is 7-0 opposed, so the motion carries.
Ms. Hammond, I move that in accordance with the district's procurement code, section 4220, causes for debarment or suspension, we instruct the chief financial officer as the district's chief business official to conduct an administrative review of the audit findings and other relevant information within 90 days to determine if debarment or suspension is warranted for any of the vendors included in the procurement examination and consulting Phase 2 report dated 9/19/2022.
Is there a second for that motion? Ms. Moore seconds. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote on that. All those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is 7, and that was 7-0. Motion carries.
Ms. Hammond, one last motion. I move that we direct the administration to review the internal recommendations and other relevant facts included in the procurement examination and consulting Phase 2 report dated 9/19/2022 and present a plan to the board for review and approval within 60 days.
Is there a second? Ms. Moore seconds. Is there any discussion on that?
Ms.
Do you want to
Hammond,
explain that one?
yes,
I would like you to explain that to the public.
When the public sees the audit, they'll see that there are a lot of recommendations for internal things that we could do differently. And I think it's important to point out that these things, as Ms. Hammond said at the beginning, occurred prior to Dr. Ross and our CFO being here, as well as some of our other staff. And so they kind of inherited something, and they are well aware that and already on the path to addressing it. But this is just setting out a formal statement that we will be addressing the internal things that we can look at as part of this audit.
And as we had said, or in my statement, one of our major goals is to not make the same mistakes again and have a very clear procurement and have you, for sure, a staff that knows and can handle all of the needs we have for District 5. Good. All those we'll put this motion to vote. All those in favor of the motion? And that is 7-0 opposed. And so that motion carries. Matt, you're on.
Chairwoman Hammond, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Is there a second? And Ms. Hines
Moore?
seconds. Oh, well, excuse me. I should have looked back to Ms. Ms. Hines has second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that is 7-0. And thank you. You are the most awesome board in the world. Motion adjourned.
Second.
time.